your girl Cash, and welcome back to another chaotic story time in the life of moi. So I think I'm gonna title this story time "This is the time my big mouth got me in trouble," because this time it definitely did. So this story time took place in college, and I've told y'all a story time including these girls before, but I can't remember what I named it, so we're just gonna name them Coco, Butter, and Amy. So a little bit of background: me and Coco, we were best friends, but she didn't go to my school because I went to FAU. Amy and Butter went to my school, but me and Butter used to always sit together at lunch. So one day me and Butter were sitting together at lunch, and this boy had walked past Chick-fil-A. Y'all, he was my type. He like 6'5", dark skin, big chain on, like he looked good. And you know, dark skin and white teeth, I'm a sucker for it. So I had noticed that he was hanging around my homeboy's homeboy. So he's gonna get a name in the story time. We gonna call him Rat. So me and Rat, we had known each other. We had kicked it before. He had came over to my house, but at that time Rat used to always delete his Instagram. So I had texted my homeboy to ask him who is his homeboy Rat hanging around, right? And I was like, who is this dark skinned dude that Rat be kicking it with on campus? So he told me his name, and we're gonna call him Andrew. I'm saying that because I just looked at a commercial on the Roku and it said Andrew. So he was like, you know, that's my homeboy Andrew, you want me to put you on? And I was like, nah, just give me his Instagram. So me and Andrew, we followed each other on Instagram. We hit it off. Everything was going cool. Like, I think he liked 3 pictures, I liked 3 pictures, and from that point forward we started talking. Y'all know how I do real playing for real. So me and Andrew had been talking, and he was cool, but he would always try to like get me to kind of come to his dorm, and I was like, like I can't explain to y'all, I can't tell y'all why. I was so scared to go to a boys dorm back then. I think the only boys dorm I ever went to was Andrew's, but we'll get to that in a different story time, don't worry. Me, Coco, Butter, and Amy, we will always kick it, and they will always tell me like, you need to be more friendly, you need to talk to more dudes on campus, like you kind of have RBF and you be scaring people off because you look so mean. And it's not intentional, y'all, I promise. I really can't help it. I be thinking I'm smiling and everybody else be thinking that I'm looking at them like I'm mad, and I promise y'all I be in the best mood. But I've seen videos of myself like from making content, and I really do just be looking mean. So fast forward to Halloween. Me, Amy, Coco, and Butter, we had been picking out our outfits. We was talking about where we're gonna go and like what we were gonna do, and we decided that we were gonna go to Truth. So I don't know if I mentioned this before in previous story times, but in college I was a party promoter. So basically what this dude would do is he would send us the flyers before they came out and tell us to post them and tag ourselves and things like that, and that we'll get in the club for free. We weren't no real party promoters because we wasn't making no money off of it. We were getting in the club for free. Sometimes we'll get free drinks, and that was pretty much so it. So this night he had already let us know like, hey, make sure y'all oh, we got to get a party promoter name. We gonna call him TJ. TJ had texted a group chat, and he was like, hey, make sure y'all post a party flyer, like it's gonna be lit on Halloween, everybody make sure y'all at Truth Lounge, whatever. So we were all getting to go to Truth. We had already posted the flyer, so we knew we were getting in for free, and we was like, all right, bet. So I can't remember everybody's costume, but I think that Amy was the wife from the Flintstones. I think Coco was a sexy cheerleader, Butter was a cowgirl, and I was a sexy Girl Scout. But I was selling like not no regular cookies. I was selling some cookies, you know, like, yeah. This day of Halloween, it was serious. This is like the Super Bowl for girls. So I had already had my costume at the house laid out. I already had my hair done. I already had everything I needed for my costume, but I didn't have a book bag. So I told y'all that I was going with the cookies theme, and I was like dedicated to this theme. So I had noticed like a couple times when I had been in the smoke shop, they had like these cookies backpacks or whatever. So I was hoping that I could find one to wear with my costume because I didn't really want to wear a purse. So when I get to the store, I'm like in there, and I had got my cookies book bag, and I had got me some roll up. So I'm getting some roll up. The man like, you got everything you need? And I was like, yeah, I got everything. He was like, I bet I got something for you. And I was like, what's up? He walks me over to the area of the smoke shop where the treats are at, and he's like, look, we got these new treats, like we got new flavors, blah blah blah. So I'm like, you know what, I got a little bit of extra money, it's Halloween, we lit tonight. So I was like, okay, so what's up, like what you recommend? And he was like, look, I recommend these gummy bears, like we have a whole bunch of different flavors, but these like my favorite gummy bears. I'm like, all right, bet. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the gummy bears. And he was like, look, do not take the full gummy bear, only eat half of it and eat it like maybe an hour before you get to the function, and you'll be good to go. So I was like, all right, bet. So he was stressing before I left, do not eat the whole gummy bear. So I ended up leaving the smoke shop, went to the liquor store, got some Casamigos and Taylor Port because that's what we were mixing that night. Yeah, college was a crazy time. And we were like, you know what, like, we lit tonight, everything lit. So I go ahead, I make it back home. While I'm doing my hair, I eat my little half of the edible, and it tastes good. I'm like, okay, this ain't gonna be no problem, but I'm definitely gonna listen to him. I'm only gonna eat my half of the edible. So I ate my half, and by the time I was done doing my hair, everybody was making their way to my house. So this time, Coco, Butter, and my sister, we were all meeting up at my house because she was actually coming out with us this Halloween. And then we were gonna make it to Boca so we could pick up Amy, and then we were gonna all head to the club. So while we are at the house pregame, and I started making myself my little drink of Casamigos and Taylor Port. Never do that, okay? When I tell y'all I was off my behind that night, do not ever do that. I don't know where I got it from, maybe a Facebook post, and nothing good ever comes out of Facebook. So I ate the treat while I was doing my hair, right? By the time we got in the car to head to Amy, smacked. I don't even remember the car ride to get to Amy because y'all, I was in the clouds. So we go pick Amy up, and then we head over to Truth. So once we get to Truth, we see the line is like wrapped around the corner. Everybody's dressed up as Playboy bunnies, all that. Like, it's gonna be a lit night. So y'all know us, real party promoters for real. We make it into the club before everybody else. So once we get in the club is swinging from wall to wall. Everybody in there, they playing good music. It's lit. So we walk over to the bar, and we get our drinks. I get me a Red Bull. I think everybody ended up getting a Red Bull. And then we head to the dance floor and we start partying. So we make it to the dance floor. We end up standing next to this group of like Playboy bunnies. So all of them are Playboy bunnies, and one of them is dressed up as a cat. But they were cool people. So all night we just dancing together. We having a good time. Everything lit. So eventually TJ, the party promoter, he walks over there and he's like, hey y'all, I'm glad y'all could make it. I'm glad y'all got in here before everybody else, like stuff like that. So while he's talking to us, Butter just turns around and she starts backing it up on TJ. And TJ's like, whoa, 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 like, whoo. But you know, he's not moving, but he's standing there with his hands up like, whoa, like, I'm not doing nothing, but you know, like, oh my God, like, you know, he's trying to pretend like he don't like it, but we know that he do. So when he's doing all that, Coco like starts grabbing on Butter. She's like, like, Butter, get up, like, you got a man, girl, like you doing too much. Now here's the tea on Butter and her boyfriend. So before we had met Butter, Butter was going to a different school, and Butter, like, once she got close with us, she started to tell us how like her last boyfriend had her put her through so much. He used to disrespect her so bad, and that she had ended up going to therapy because of their relationship. Now honestly, in this situation, y'all might think that Coco's being a cop block, but she's really just got Butter best interest at mind, because Butter finally has a boyfriend now that treats her right, takes her out on dates, shows her off and all that. And we were already a little bit scared for her relationship because he was a noob. In previous story times, I told y'all that Butter and Coco were noob chasers. So she already kind of had a situation with her boyfriend because she was messing with some of his line brothers and she had never told him. So we were already kind of like scared to see how he was going to react to that. But then you in the middle of the club and you shaking ass on a party promoter, mind you, his other line brothers are in here. You already kind of got a name for yourself on campus. So that's how Coco was like, girl, get up. She wasn't being a cop block. That's just a little bit of background so y'all wouldn't be confused. Back to the story. So Coco's like, girl, get up, get up. And like Butter's like, girl, it's not even like that. Like, we just playing. Mind you, TJ got a whole family at home, wife, kids. He posts them on a regular. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he was married, but if you looked at his Instagram, you would think he was married. So when Coco had put her up, I was like, yeah, Butter, like, chill out, girl. You never know who your man know. Like, you know, just keep it to being with her, because them frat boys be knowing everybody. So she ends up getting up, and then we head over like towards the front of the club, and we're just all up there dancing and stuff like that, having a good time. So while we're up there, Coco's looking irritated, and I look over and I'm trying to figure out like what the problem is now. I look back, Butter is back again, throwing it back on TJ, and he's just dancing with her and stuff like that. And Coco keeps going over there and she's like, Butter, stop, Butter, stop. Like, she keep getting Butter up. But y'all, I'm not gonna lie, usually I don't dance in the club. I don't know what music they were playing. I'm gonna go back and see if I can find the videos, but I'm over there throwing it back with the Playboy bunnies. Like, I was paying attention to what Coco them had going on, but not really, because the bunnies is hyping me up and I'm tossing that skirt. Me and that skirt just in a like fucking it up, bow, bow, bow. So I'm like, you know, I'm fucking it up, and Butter come, no, not Butter, sorry, Coco come over there and she's like, come get your friend. So I walk over there and I'm like, what's up? And she's like, go get Butter. So I'm like, Butter, stop. And she's like, girl. And I'm like, Butter, stop. Like, come on. Butter's still dancing on TJ. So eventually the song started playing. So I just kind of like grabbed Butter away from TJ and I started dancing with her, and me and her dancing. So now Coco, she looking irritated still, but she looking like a little bit more calmer. So she kind of just leave me with Butter. So while me and Butter over there dancing, they started announcing that some football players is coming in. Now, I don't know if these football players were from FIU. I think they were, but I knew they were from a college nearby. So I guess they had won whatever game they had recently, so the DJ was announcing them as they came in. So while they coming in, the DJ's like, oh, we have the FIU champions, blah, 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 blah. So when they started announcing him, so once the DJ started announcing the boys, I just see Butter to get that look in her eye. Butter is like, oh, she getting one of them and she going home with them tonight. I knew Butter better than anybody else, and I know when Butter gets that look in her eye. So Butter starts like walking up, pushing her way up close to the stage so she can be close to the front. I start walking up there with her, and the Playboy bunnies and the girl who was dressed as a cat, they're still up there. So we're all dancing, we're having a good time. And like Butter started kind of like rubbing on me and stuff. Now mind y'all, I like girls, but me and Butter had never played like that before. Like she had told me like, oh, you know that she would mess around with me like that. But I don't know, I'm just not one of them girls that mess around with my friends. I prefer to keep friends as friends and lovers as lovers, if that makes sense. So when she was like dancing on me, whatever, I'm like, oh, she just dancing, it ain't nothing. But she tried to lean in and kiss me, and I was just kind of like, woo, like, we ain't never did that before. Why are you trying to do that? So she was kind of like laughed it off, and I just laughed it off too because, yeah, girl, no. So after I didn't kiss her, she kind of like hugs up with the Playboy bunny. And no, not the Playboy bunny, sorry. She hugs up with Catwoman. Her and Catwoman start kissing or whatever. And her and Catwoman is like really tonguing each other down. And I'm just like, oh, this is a lot. And at this point, just in my opinion, I kind of felt like that they were doing all of this for the football players' attention, which is crazy because I'm like, they won a football game, not the fucking Super Bowl. Like, everybody relax. Like, it's not that serious. Don't get me wrong, they were cute, but it's like, I just like, that's not the way to get attention. So Butter ended up grabbing me and was like, do you have any gum? And I'm like, nah. She was like, oh, she kissed me, but her breath was stank. So I'm like, come on, let's go to the bar, just get us something like to drink. Not no, you know, not no liquor. But I'm like, let me get you a bottle of water and let me get me a Red Bull. Because at this point, I've been dancing all night, so I'm starting to get a little bit tired, but I'm still teed up. So I'm like, let me go get me a Red Bull and power back up. So while we over there at the bar, like, we're just talking, everything's cool. She seemed like she sobered up now, and it took for us to get to the bar for me to realize, like, Butter's not as drunk as I thought she was. Butter just wanted to seem like she was drunk so she could have an excuse to do whatever she was going to do and pretend like she didn't know what she was doing to her boyfriend afterwards. So we walked back over there to the stage where, like, the football players are at. And y'all never been in Truth, but basically to explain Truth to you, Truth has like a section, but their sections are like up on a stage kind of. So the football players are like in the front stage. So to block the stage off from the crowd, they had like this metal pipe going all the way around, and then they had like, you know, the concrete at the bottom because it's a stage. I don't know what song they started playing. Y'all, if I can find the video, I might put it in the story time. Is that messy? It might be a little bit messy. Y'all, Butter grabs the pole with her hands and then puts her feet up on the stage and starts like popping that cat. Don't stop, pop that. She's popping that cat towards the stage. I can't see her because I'm behind her, but I know them boys in front of her were seeing her cat. So at this point, I kind of snap out of it and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be watching you. So I kind of grab her down and I'm like, girl, like, come on, baby. Like, don't do that. I don't want you to fall. So at this point, Coco's looking at me and she's so irritated. And I'm like, what's wrong, Coco? And she's like, don't worry, I'll talk to you about it later. And I'm like, ooh. Coco don't usually like to have talks later. So when she said that she'll talk to you about it later, she's mad. So yeah. So after the club, we all get back in the car and we're just all sitting in the car talking. Everybody had a good time, so we're starting to drop each other off. Everybody's talking about, you know, who they finna be with tonight. So they keep asking me, they was like, you know, Cash, what you gonna do tonight? You gotta stop acting like that. Like, you gotta start being more friendly. So I'm not gonna lie, I let them peer pressure me and I was like, you know what, I'm finna link up with somebody on campus tonight. I'm finna hang out with old boy. And I ended up calling Andrew. I'm like, hey, what you doing? And he's like, nothing, I'm at the studio right now. So I'm not gonna say who Andrew used to work with or what he used to do, but Andrew used to work with a pretty big rapper, like at the time or whatever. So Andrew was like, oh no, I'm at the studio with what's the name. I'm like, oh okay, like what you doing after that? And he was like, nothing, why, what's up, you want to see me? And I was like, yeah, like I want to come see you. So at this point I'm trying to get over there so I can go to his dorm, but he's like, nah, don't worry about it, like I gotta pass your house on my way home, so I'm gonna just stop by. So I was like, okay, cool. So once I get home, I end up taking my sister home. Then I come back, I get the house all ready, I take a shower, and I'm waiting on Andrew. So Andrew finally pulls up, and Andrew come in the house. We just talking and stuff like that. We're watching cartoons. We having a good time. So eventually Andrew is just like, you know, like, why you sitting all the way over there? And y'all know me, why am I sitting all the way over there? So I scooted a little bit close to him, and like, you know, we're kissing and stuff like that. So I be kissing, Andrew smelling good, his breath smelling good. So I'm like, oh my God, thank you Jesus. Why, you know, we doing what we doing, clothes start coming off, and you know, we getting funky or whatever. So everything is cool while we getting funky, till eventually he takes his pants off. Y'all, I kid you not, whole room started smelling like dookie. I'm like sniffing, I'm trying to figure out like what's that smell. I just keep smelling dookie, and I was trying to ignore it at first, y'all, but it just honestly smelled like somebody had took a dump like in my room, no shade. So I kind of wasn't feeling the vibes no more. So I told him, I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling good. And he was like, what's wrong? Like, I'll go get you some medicine. And I was like, yeah, I'm just not feeling good. Like, I don't want to do this no more. So he ended up like making sure I was okay, and then he ended up going home. So when he left, it's like the smell left with him, y'all. I don't know what that smell was to this day. I don't know if it was him. I feel like it was him, but I don't know. I don't know if he can wipe himself properly or what, but I just was not feeling that smell. So he ended up going home. I went to sleep, and the next day when I was at school, I ended up seeing the homeboy Rat that Andrew was walking with when I seen him the first time. So when I seen Rat walking with this girl. She was a pretty girl. She was a snow bunny. So when I seen Rat walking with the snow bunny, he hurried up and gave her a hug, and she went her way and he went his, and he started walking towards me. So I'm like, hey Rat, what's up? And he's just like, oh hey Cash, what's up? He dapped me up, and he was like, yeah, don't tell nobody you see me with that girl. I was like, what? Really? Why? Like, she's cute. He was like, yeah, but you know, that's not really my type, so I don't want nobody to know. And I was just like, okay, I guess. So he tells me this, and we just started talking, and I don't know why I opened my big mouth, and he ended up asking me like, so what's up with you and my homeboy? And I was just like, I actually seen him yesterday, but I don't think I'm gonna see him again. He was like, why? And I was like, I don't know, I just really wasn't feeling him too much. So after that, we ended up changing the subject. He sat in line with me for the tacos, and we were just talking about like random stuff, whatever. Y'all, so I ended up going to my last class period of the day, and on my way home I get a call before I could even make it to my car in the parking lot. Why is it Andrew? And Andrew was like, why do you talk so much? And I'm like, what you mean? He was like, why would you tell Rat that me and you linked up? I don't really like him in my business like that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I did tell him. I didn't think nothing of it. Like, you know, I know that y'all are homeboys, so I didn't see the problem. He was like, yeah, but that's not my homeboy like that. I don't like him in my business. I don't like him knowing who I'm associating myself with. And I was like, you know what? I can respect that. Like, he was right. I opened my big mouth. So I'm over there feeling bad. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, I don't even like the way he brought that back to me. Like, he acting like a little female. So he starts like just basically ranting about how he don't like Rat, and how he don't really mess with Rat like that, and how Rat is like, he gossip too much. And I'm just like, ooh, this is messy. But I was just like, damn, I'm kind of glad that I'm out of hot water. And you know, men are messier than women. If you let them talk long enough, they gonna spill the tea. So he's basically telling me all this stuff about Rat, and how he don't even fool with Rat like that, and he be having to check Rat. That's his little homie. And I was like, ooh, okay. So why when I get back to school on Thursday, I end up seeing Rat, and he's like, hey Cash. And I looked at him and I kept walking. Y'all, I wanted to cuss Rat out so bad, but I knew that if I'm like, this is the PWI, I'm on scholarship, I can't be acting how I usually act. So I looked at Rat and I just kind of side-eyed him, and I kept walking. So he kind of jogged to catch up with me, and he was like, hey Cash, hey Cash, hey Cash. And I was like, stop talking to me, like, stop effing talking to me. Like, I was so mad, like I could just feel myself shaking. And he was like, whatever, and he walked away. So yeah, Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. So basically Coco came up to me and was like, you know, I just don't feel like you should eat you know, treats anymore, because when you do, you act like you're really like you're not there. Like, I was trying to get you to peep game all night. And I was like, what did I miss? Like, I seen Butter dance, and she was like, yeah, but you wasn't really taking it as serious as I was. Like, a lot of the noops are in there because they were strolling and stuff like that. Like, anybody could have seen her and told her boyfriend. And y'all could tell me, comment down below if y'all feel like I'm wrong or not. I feel like you telling her to get up, I'm telling her to get up. Both of us are doing our part. At the end of the day, Butter was not that tipsy, because I seen how Butter straightened up when we got to the bar, was walking straight and all that, and then once we got back on the dance floor, she started acting like she was just oh so intoxicated. I did my part. I was telling Butter to stop, but at the same time, Butter's a grown woman, so I was doing what I could, but I can't force her to do nothing that she don't want to. If Butter was actually like, you know, too tipsy and stuff like that, I would have definitely yoked her up. But if you're sober and you're choosing to do this on your own cognizance, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do at this point. But that would be the end of the story time. Thank you guys for watching so much. I'm trying to get back on my consistency tip, so we're getting it together. Thank you guys for watching, and comment some pink hearts if you made it all the way to the end, because yeah, this one wasn't that long, so I expect to see a lot of pink hearts. But bye, you guys.